What a brilliant day. The sun is shining, the town is full of laughter, and I have my sweet princess here to accompany me. Cannot help but groan at Rumpel's optimism. Because we were both sent out to run errands. Because everyone thinks we make a wonderful couple. No, because we're partners. Partners, a couple. It may as well be the same thing. Half of the time, Rumpel says some deep things, but then he says things like that. It is like he has two personalities. No, it is not the same thing at all. I take out the list and scour it for the things we need to buy. More than half of it is already crossed out. I glance at the bags Rumpel is carrying. He refuses to let me carry any of them, insisting that it would be impolite to force the load on me. That leaves me with the list duty. This is a lot more laid back than what I have to do at the merchant. Okay, now we have the general medicine restock for Annis. My area of expertise. Never fear, my sweet princess. I will find everything we need. We already have a list. But Rumpel just hums enthusiastically as we continue on our way, and I am not entirely sure if he heard me or not. We arrive at the little medicine shop in the central plaza. A man exits through the front door, coughing so loudly people turn their heads to stare at him. I wait for the man to pass so that I can open the door to the store, but then I notice that Rumpel hasn't budged beside me at all. His eyes do a quick scan of the man before he slowly begins to walk toward him. Sir, you are sick. Oh, what's it to you? Even if I was sick, lad, there's nothing I can do if I don't have any money. Besides, it's not like this will kill me. It's just a cough. How long have you had your cough, sir? It seems like such a minor thing, but Rumpel suddenly looks so serious about it. He looks at the man with his eyes slightly narrowed, as if trying to see past him. It's been with me for more than 3 days. Coughs are pesky things, aren't they? They're usually the last thing to go, but at least they're not deadly most of the time. Even if you can't buy the medicines, sir, there are other at-home remedies that might help with your cough. Boy, I've already tried warm tea. My wife's given me enough of that. Water is good for your throat too, sir. Any kind of steam works too. If the cough is riddled with mucus, it'll be easier to expel with steam. When you can't afford the medicine, sometimes the simple things will help, and coughs stay for a while, so don't fret if you can't get rid of yours immediately. Well, I appreciate the advice. Not exactly what a doctor would tell me, but it'll have to do. The man thanks Rumpel before walking off. I notice Rumpel looking down at the ground, a rather forlorn expression on his face. Is what he said truth? About what, princess? About doctors not giving advice about at-home remedies? Most of the doctors don't believe in such things. They always think that medicines work better than at-home or herbal remedies. The medicines do help, but sometimes they aren't necessary. Yet you just gave him advice. Not everyone can afford medicine. Being a doctor means helping people, not taking advantage of their sickness to steal their money. Money was never a problem at the palace. Whenever I was sick, the palace staff made sure I had the best and most effective medicines. Do you remember what you were like as a doctor? I wanted to help everyone that showed up at my doorstep. Sometimes I couldn't, and it frustrated me. I prescribed medicines when necessary, gave advice other times, and when things were dire, I performed small operations. He does seem a lot more serious when he is talking about health. Rumpel was silent for a few moments before his eyes light up once again. Anyway, shall we go stock up on our medicine? I thought you said medicine weren't always helpful. Because it's not. But I also know that Anis uses mostly herbs and that she tries to handle things without too much medication. She's quite capable. We enter the shop and in no time at all, Rumpel spots the items on our list. We use up the rest of our money to buy the medicines and remedies that we needed, and then we begin to head back to the tavern. On our way there, Rumpel strikes up a conversation again. So, Princess, have you given any thought to what I said before? About what? You've already forgotten. About making people happy. What? You know, you could make me happy right here and now by giving me a kiss on the cheek. I stare blankly at him before walking away. No, thank you. And alas, my hopes are dashed again. When we are at the outskirts of town, I pause and turn around. It is as if I can feel eyes at my back, but I do not see anyone openly staring at me. Is someone watching me? Suddenly, I feel warmth in my hand, then fingers interlaced through mine. Rumpel pulls me a little closer, his expression oddly gentle. Don't worry, my sweet princess, you're safe with me. Suddenly, his face is a lot closer to mine, and I can see his features more closely. It is like the night in the forest, except his face is not marred by the same shadows. There is caution in his eyes, but it is not directed at me. Did you see someone following you? No, I just thought I felt someone looking at me. Better to stay together then. We began walking again. The two of us begin to head back to the tavern. Martin. Rumpel has all the bags in one hand now. He hums a little bit as we walk. It is remarkably quiet, peaceful, so that I do not even mind him holding my hand. It suddenly feels a lot safer. I am so lost in reverie that I do not even notice when we turn and go in the opposite direction. This is not the way back to the margin. On the contrary, it's just a more scenic path. Don't you like the forest, princess? The shafts of light coming in through the canopies, the soft blades of grass that tickle your ankles. It is such a romantic place. No matter what he says, this does not lead back to the merchant. It is not a scenic path or a path at all. I instantly root myself in place, and even though Rumpel is far taller than me and far stronger, he stops after noticing that I am no longer walking. Oh, princess, did you want to stop and admire the scenery? Why are you taking me through here? I do not care about the scenery, and I do not care about walking anywhere with you. Ah, princess, your honesty really is a treasure. One day I will make it so you enjoy going places with me, not just holding my hand. I quickly slide my hand out of his. My face feels somewhat hot. Ah, there's the sweet rosiness to your cheeks. You never answered my questions. It's a detour. We were only going to be in here for a few minutes. If you thought you saw someone's eye on you, it's better to divert their attention away from the merchant. And before you say it's dangerous, yes, it is, but we're still not far enough away from the town to worry about safety. And I believe I can protect you. Won't you compliment my cleverness, sweet princess? He takes a step forward, bridging the short distance between us, and then suddenly his fingers are around my wrist again. But he does not lace his fingers through mine. Instead, he takes my hand in his and then pulls it up to his face. Before I realize it, my hand is on his cheek, his hand cupping my own. Princess, you can trust me, always. I mean, I can sense that sometimes you trust me, sometimes you don't. But you don't need to be so cautious around me. I shower you with compliments because I believe you deserve them. I tell you that I enjoy being around you because I do. I should be focusing on his words, but all I can look at are his eyes. What do I need to do for you to truly trust me? Mother told me that people lie, so how can I trust that everything he says is truth? Perhaps if I stopped throwing compliments at you, you would not be you without all of the compliments. What am I saying? I always complain about his compliments, but the thought of Rumpel without compliments is strange. So you do enjoy my compliments, sweet princess? No, What? Words have deserted you? I understand. Being so close to me would have that effect on any woman. Something bright and angry flares up inside of me. Something that I don't understand. I pull my hand away from him, a scowl on my face. Was it my big mouth again, princess? Come on, let us go back to the merchant. I start walking ahead, and Rumpel rushes to catch up with me. I clench my fingers and let out a silent sigh. Rumpel was being nice to me again, but I always reject his kindness, because it cannot be real. Days go by. I consider Rumpel's advice, but I refuse to flirt with anyone again. But I have no idea how to make anyone happy. Rumpel told me that I cannot make anyone happy without knowing anything about them and listening to them like I did with Anis. But what reason do I have to listen to people? This is frustrating. Days later, Rumpel and I sit at a table waiting for our work orders. Rumpel is on the verge of conversation when we suddenly hear Parfit speaking in the doorway. Rumpel picks up on the words before I do and rushes over to the front door. He looked almost nervous. Who is at the front door? I excuse myself briefly, telling Anis that I will be back. I make my way over to the front door, and there I see 3 people in conversation. There is Rumpel and Parfit, and a very pale man. The pale man looks like death itself, like he might just keel over. I can help him. Rumpel. He needs help. He can stay in my room instead. I can even restock the medicines on my own if needed be. So please, let me help him. There is desperation in Rumpel's eyes that I have never seen before. He looks at Parfit pleadingly, all the while holding the man by the shoulder to steady him. What is happening? Oh, princess, this man heard about Rumpel through one of the men at the tavern. He's sick and doesn't have a lot of money to pay for treatment. He came here seeking Rumpel. He must have been able to find this place because he was cursed. Does he even have the money to pay? Rumpel turns to me with a frown on his face. I have never seen him look at me so sternly. Princess, you remember what I told you before. He was insistent that a doctor's number 1 priority was to help their patient regardless of their monetary situation. Take him to your room then, Rumpel. I will have Anis assist you if she's willing. No, Anis does not need to worry herself. I think she'd want to help you. The two cut their discussion short when the man starts coughing, a terrible hacking cough that paralyzes him. Rumpel steadies him and then he begins to slowly move him toward his room. Don't worry, princess, he'll be fine. What? I can see the worry on your face. Rumpel will be fine. Why would I worry about Rumpel? Because it's not like you to worry about someone you don't know at all. He looked so alarmed. I have never seen Rumpel look like that before. It is not like him. Rumpel knows what he's doing. I'll have someone else assist you with serving today, so no worries. Parfit comes through on her promise. When I go back to the bar, both Anis and Rumpel are gone. Karma, or Miss Karma, is there instead, looking disgruntled. Waltz would be better at this. Why do I have to help? Because Waltz is busy doing his puppet shows, and Rumpel is helping a sick man. Oh, well, I guess there's nothing to do about this then, other than enjoy it. He flips his hair and smiles brilliantly. I will attract all of the customers today. Perhaps we should have a competition, princess. Compete with yourself. I am really not in the mood for karma right now. Then I shall definitely compete with myself, because challenging yourself is important. Karma picks up waiting tables fairly easily. I notice that he speaks very fondly to girls, but they are not as receptive as they are with Rumpel. Many times they ask Karma where Rumpel is, and he seems agitated when he tells them that Rumpel is busy. They seem just as irritated. Once my break starts, I meet Karma at the bar. He looks depressed. I guess if you and Rumpel competed to woo girls, he would win. Darling, if I were to shed my disguise right here and now, I would be the clear victor. Since without this disguise women would flock to me, it is rather uncomfortable to have every woman in Angel fall in love with you. You look like you're judging me, princess. Because I am. If only you understood my plight. Karma and Rumpel may speak similarly, but they are still so different. Karma is the type to complain. Rumpel never complains. He is overworking himself for someone else, just like he went out of his way to apologize to me many times. My heart sinks a little bit as I think of him and he's helping out the sick man. Rumpel did not even want Anis going up there, so he probably wouldn't want me up there either. I could try to visit him, or I could go back to my room. I think I'll go check on him. Check on Rumpel? I hadn't realized I was speaking aloud. I look at Karma, who furrows his eyebrows at me slightly. I honestly don't know how you can stand him as a partner. Why do you dislike Rumpel so much? A lot of things, princess, but that fight is between us and doesn't involve you. Then do not involve me. You have no need to comment on us being partners. Karma looks at me, eyes wide-eyed and a little shocked. Then a sort of knowing comes into his eyes and he smiles just a little bit. Yes, I think you should go visit him, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get him off of your mind, would you? He laughs a little before picking up his tray and rushing off to continue his shift. I slowly make my way upstairs, my feet feeling heavy. For some reason, I feel like Karma is right. I make my way over to what I think Rumpel's room, to what I think is Rumpel's door. The door is slightly ajar, and I hear hushed voices on the other side. Those voices definitely belong to Anis and Rumpel. I slowly push the door open and quietly step inside. Rumpel and Anis. Rumpel and Anis are standing over the man who is covered in blankets and coughing. A series of bottles lit on the table close by. None of the herbal remedies are working. We need a medicine for this. I'm sorry I don't have any more money to offer, Rumpel. Anis, please don't sound so sad. You've already tried helping as much as you possibly can. It's my fault for promising to buy a medicine that we need. I glance at the table where a list is sitting. Beautiful cursive handwriting details everything that the patient needs. Everything is circled except for some medicine at the very bottom that has star next to it. Is that Rumpel's handwriting? Suddenly, the two of them turned. They both looked shocked to see me. Princess, what are you doing here? I came to see how you were doing. Princess, I'm fine, but... He glances down at the man on the bed, uneasy sighs out a little bit. We've given him what we can, but the one medicine that we need is something we can't afford. Even with the money I'm getting from Lady Parfit, it isn't enough. I walk into the room and glance at the list. I look over at the total for the medicine, then at the coins on the table that I hadn't noticed before. Did Rumpel use all his money for this stranger? What will happen if you do not get this medicine? Without this, the infection will spread and he goes silent as the man starts coughing again. I can read the answer in his eyes. Even if he won't say it, the man could be in terrible danger. He could even die. Rumpel looks defeated. He does not look like himself at all. I glance at the coins again, then at the list. Without a second thought, I grab both the list and the coins. Princess, what are you? I'll be back. I leave the door, even with Anis and Rumpel protesting behind me. I make my way to my room, where I pick up the bag of coins that the king gave me, and when I went to the palace on the day I was cursed. Then I head for the door. I immediately head for the medicine store that we always frequent. I count out the coins that I need to buy the medicine. This will take all of my money, but it wasn't as if I was going to use it for something else. I rush back to the merchant with the medicine in a little bag, hoping that this is the one that Rumpel needs. It is dark by the time I get back to the merchant. I make my way to Rumpel's room again and notice that he is sitting on a stool beside the patient's bed, looking at him forlornly. When I enter the room, his eyes go wide. He seems even more surprised when I hand him the bag. Princess, is this? He opens the bag and lets a little vial roll onto his hand. How did you buy this? I combined your total with the money I had left. Rumpel just stares at me, clearly flabbergasted. Then his expression morphs into something softer, something more relieved. He steps forward and suddenly his arms are around me. He grips me tightly, and then I hear his voice in my ear. Thank you so much, Princess Lucette. My heartbeat picks up slightly. It is so loud I think Rumpel might hear it, but when he pulls away, he does not say anything. I'll have to thank you for this later, Princess, but for now, you should leave. I don't want you to get sick. I am too dazed to disagree. I nod my head quietly before moving stiffly toward the door. I glance back at Rumpel one last time, noticing that he is checking the man's temperature. The moment I leave the room, a flash of light emanates from my chest. I absently touched the glass slipper at my neck and then paused as I stared down at it. I feel a soft gasp leave my lips when I noticed the fragment of a second slipper. I got my first good deed. I bought the medicine for Rumpel, but I only added in a few more coins to buy it. So what I did today was considered a good deed? I am confused, but at the same time, I am pleased that I actually managed to get a good deed. Now I only need 2 more. The next day I go down to the tavern area to begin my work, but I am there a little early. Waltz is working on his puppets at the table, eyebrows furrowed in concentration. When I walk in, he looks up at me and smiles. Then he raises his eyebrows. "Princess, congratulations. You got your first good deed." I did. "I knew you could do it." I nod in response. His praise makes me feel proud, oddly proud. I continue my usual work, keeping an eye out for Rumpel as I work my shift, but he never appears. A few days goes by, and it is only after the man leaves, looking a lot healthier and stable than he was before, that I finally see Rumpel. He and the man speak at the front door to the tavern. "No, really, sir, I couldn't take anything from you." "Nonsense, you saved my life. I need to pay you back somehow." The man is holding money out to Rumpel, but Rumpel just shakes his head. I notice that there are dark circles under his eyes and that he looks tired. "I didn't help you for the money, but I insist. That money could be spent on better things like your family. You may not take my money, but I promise I will pay you back. Your health is all the reward I need, I promise. I can't thank you enough." After the man leaves, I approach Rumpel. He turns to me and leans against the door, his smile still tired but bright. "Ah, Princess, come to heal my weary body. Perhaps I would so love another hug." My face becomes hot at the memory of Rumpel's hug from the other day. "Ah, the natural rouge of your cheeks is so cute, Princess. It makes me feel infinitely better. And your necklace seems different." I reach up to touch the pendant. Every time I get a good deed, a piece gets added to my necklace. "Oh, right. You helped You helped the medicine the other day. Of course that was a good deed, Princess. It was very selfless of you. Thank you again for that." "The man tried to thank you too, but you refused his money. Why?" "And why did you spend your money on him?" "Because life is invaluable, Princess. No amount of money could ever be more important than a person's life. Even if it is someone you do not know." "Yes, because everyone has a life, Princess. They have loved ones, families, sweethearts. And if I can help them, I will. And I will gladly spend any amount of money to do so." "Okay, fine. But why did you not accept any money from that man?" "Because no amount of money. You needed that money. How are you going to buy more medicines without any money?" Rumpel's eyes widened. He was clearly not expecting me to ask that question. But he said before he didn't have much money, and it was true. I can't take money from him when he does not have much of it to begin with. He was thanking you with money. You should have accepted it. Perfect pays you, does she not? Rumpel's shoulders sag when he sighs. Yes, even though I won't accept the money from her face to face, she has to sneak it into my wallet. If she does not, why not just accept it from her? I'm trying to make a statement, princess. And Parfit does not seem to care because she sneaks the money into your wallet regardless. Ah, you have a point there. You're stubborn. We both are. Now, I have a question. Why did you use your money on that man? You knew nothing about him. Did you do it for him? For yourself? Or for me, perhaps? Rumpel grinned at me mischievously. Even with the tired eyes, I can still see the bright cheer in them. Hit the nail right on the head again. You're becoming easier to read, my sweet princess. Well, no matter why you did it, thank you. The medicine was necessary to help that man. I still think you should accept money from him. You helped him and did him a service no one else would. You should have accepted his gratitude. Princess, I told you. I cross my arms and frown at him. You're so stubborn. Rumpel's smile falters, and he just looks at me sadly, almost guiltily. For some reason, the sight of him in such a state makes my heart sink. Wipe off that frown. You look better with a smile. Rumpel stares at me, shocked. Why is he staring at me like that? You like my smile? What? I did not say You like my smile, and you compliment it too, princess. You have no idea how much this means to me. Rumpel throws his hands in the air. I resist the urge to roll my eyes at the exaggerated reaction. You get compliments all the time from women. Yes, but none as honest as yours. That compliment is valuable because I know you absolutely meant it. So I will keep those words close to my heart because they are precious to me. It wasn't anything like the spectacular compliments he gives, yet he still looks so happy. You two seem to be getting along. Parfit appears behind us with a smile on her face. Sorry to interrupt, but Lucette, Karma is slowly drowning in table work. Would you help him? Yes, of course. Rumpel looks disappointed as I am sent back to the bar, where Karma expresses immediate relief that I am back. Rumpel retires to his room early that day, and he is given the day off, but both Delora and Parfit can see the tiredness on his face just like I can. He does not reappear for the rest of the day. At the end of my shift, I retire to my room. When I get downstairs the next morning, I am met with a familiar sight. Both Karma and Rumpel stand on opposite sides of the table, their voices rising in argument. They are fighting again? I happened to catch their words as I walked quietly down the stairs. Who are you to criticize my work ethic when you were gone for several days, leaving me with your workload? It wasn't like I wanted to, and who are you to criticize how I work? All of the ladies I spoke to said that you shower them with compliments. What kind of professional behavior is that? I'm having a hard time believing you're a professional with the way that you flaunt yourself. At least I don't flirt with people to attract their attention. And you flirt with them and don't even realize the effect it has on other people. Flattery is not a crime. Just yesterday, the princess came to see you in your room, all because you gave her the impression that you liked her. Were you actually spying on her? And you call me uncouth? No, I overheard her say it. And you're wrong. I never say anything if it isn't truthful. Ah well, then the truth of the matter is that you must be in love with many women, because they all seem to think that you'll get down on one knee to propose to them. You say some sly things, Miss Karma, and yet you're the biggest liar of us all. At least I don't lie to my partner. Rumpel tells me that he never lies. He tells me what he wants me to trust him. Though I still find it hard to believe, I do want to trust him. I walk down the rest of the stairs and stop at Rumpel's side. Both men looks exactly surprised to see me there. Rumpel has never lied to me yet. Karma looks up and stares at me for a few moments, looking startled by my sudden appearance. Then he sighs. Princess, a man that flatters everyone doesn't flatter anyone. At least he's not so conceited he flatters himself constantly. Such a sharp tongue you have, princess. And you are very quick to jump to assumptions. You two are at it again? Tyrion stops at the table and frowns at them. Both men glance away from her cold gaze. Karma murmurs something before excusing himself. Rumpel looks down at the table, his eyebrows knit together with frustration. What is wrong with you two? Why can't you just be civil with each other? Tyrion, you're never here to see how these fights start. Karma is every bit of a beast, attacking me for no good reason at all, but with your keen eye, you should be able to discern that, right? Flattery won't work on me, Rumpel, and second, I doubt these fights start without any bit of prompting from you. I swear, I don't start anything. Karma is just always irritable. He's like a woman during that one time of the month. Tyrion walks away stiffly, leaving me with Rumpel. I look at him a little irritated by his earlier comment. He gives me a sheepish smile. Thank you, princess. For what? For defending me. I swear I meant what I said. I would never lie to you. I mean everyone. All of my compliments. every one of my thank yous. You must know that, since you came to defend me. Rumpel, sometimes you continue talking when nothing needs to be said. But I am just expressing the depths of my gratitude. It is not necessary. It was such a small thing too. Princess, can you give me some help with inventory? I am coming. As I turn away, Rumpel waves. I'll see you later, Princess. Who knows, you might get your second good deed. I resist the urge to roll my eyes. It feels like it will be a while yet before I can achieve my next good deed.